Over this. Oh wow, Ian, let's see. Her liver is about to change dramatically for the good. If you want a rainbow, you have to put up with the rain. Nee, dat is so waar. Oh my word. Ja, dis waar. Our cellar is in Stellenbosch. I'm really proud of the cellar. We are the first 100% black-owned winery in South Africa. It's a very special place. It's our own place. It makes a huge difference because we can work and do and experiment as much as we like because it's our own space. Every year comes with its own challenges and you need to adapt. You need to understand weather. You need to understand climate because those two really influence your final product. I buy in most of my fruit, so my terroir or my soil stays the same. It's the other things that change, like the climate and the daily temperatures, that has a huge influence. So you need to adapt to that. Our winery is situated in Stellenbosch. We are in a very old building. I'm very open to people come to experience what we do. We don't necessarily have a tasting room, but if we do have people asking to come and visit, then I make special arrangements for them to take them through our wines and to have a formal tasting. But I like people to walk in and taste the wines in the barrels, to taste different components that might go into a final blend. To taste wine from a wine tank or barrel is completely different from tasting the final product. What I'm pouring here, it's a Sauvignon Blanc. It's 2019 vintage. Comes from the Durbanville region. So the sea breezes plays a huge influence in the expression and palate weight of this wine. People expect a wine that was grown in Durbanville to be light and easy. I find this specific block, it just ticks all the right boxes. So it has the right pH, it has the right acidity, it has the perfect balance between acidity and the sugar levels when it comes in. It has this greener expression that turns into passion fruit while it's fermenting. Then on the palate, I work a lot to build the palate. Now, when I smell this wine, the first impression is there's quite a lot of asparagus, there's peas, and behind that, if you cut through a passion fruit, it's right there. There's almost like a salty element. And for me, that is what a lot of people describe as minerality. You have layers of fruit. And that is what I work towards when I make my wine. It must be layered on the nose and must be layered on the palate. So the entrance is very limey. It's a very clean wine. There is a fullness on the back. And for me, that is the influences in the cellar, where we work a lot with the lees after fermentation. But this wine also has 1% of barrel maturation in it. And that also gives a little bit of depth to this wine. I like goat's cheese a lot, and I think it just goes so well with that. Also, it complements pork belly. And why? Maybe because I use a lot of lime on my pork belly, it just works. It works with so many different food types. So it's very easy, yet for me, it's quite a powerful wine. Now, I want to tell you about my label, because my label, it's a tiger that my eldest daughter, which is now 17, she drew this when she was 6 years old. She can still just see the tiger. On the right-hand side, there's a side profile of a man. There's a bird. It looks like a crow. It's the beak, and right in the middle, but you need to come up close. You see there's a face of a dog. when I first saw that painting, I thought, one day when I'm gonna have my own wine label, I'm gonna use this. To me, this is exactly what we have described in this wine. Some people see the obvious first. If you look deeper, you see all the different aspects and expressions of a wine. The next wine that we are drinking is Varieties Carmenere. From what I understand and my research, there's only 2 blocks in South Africa. This specific fruit is grown in Paarl, so it's much warmer, and I find that it does beautifully in that climatic conditions. It has a very prominent profile on nose and palate. It has the deepest, darkest red color. This was our first vintage. We only made 500 bottles. I think we were very fortunate to be awarded top 12 wines out of the Wellington region for this wine. During the fermentation process, we pick it quite, if I say quite ripe, the variety lends itself not to go over 24 degrees Kelvin. I made this in open top barrels. I took the tops off. It can almost mimic Cabernet Franc in expression. There's also a lot of black, dark berry fruits. There's a little bit of pepper, black pepper on there, but there's also a softer, almost vanilla, but that is the wood. That is the influences of the wood, because 50% of this was in brand new oak. And I think it's full on the palate, but it's not, you know, sometimes a wine can be almost too much on the nose. For me, this wine doesn't have that. And then there's just a touch of almost a menthol character right at the back. Palate entrance, soft, smooth tannin structure, juicy. It doesn't attack your palate, it's just so easy, yet it's present on your palate. There's a perfect balance between your fruit and your oak component, and just enough acidity to refresh your palate. I would go so far as any chicken dish. Because of that vanilla component, it will go with something creamy as well, because it has the right acidity not to attack. Okay, so my quote is, if you want the rainbow, you must be willing to take the rain. And I think if you look at winemaking is very labor intensive, but this is the rainbow. You know, you must take all of that. You need to go through every little step to get to a point when you can say, oh my God, this is amazing. The end result, this is your rainbow. So, cheers.